Hello friends, my name is Emile and welcome back to some more Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. Today we're continuing on with our Let's Play. This is episode 12, and in today's episode we'll be taking a look at another one of the beginner league races, this time taking a look at the MR Challenge. For that of course we're going to need a mid-engine rear-wheel drive car, and we don't really have one at the moment, so let's go back into the car dealer and buy one once again. So let's go ahead and buy ourselves a mid-engine rear drive car, and well, it's kind of obvious what I'm going to buy. It's a ZW30, because of course it is. We are going to buy one in... I kind of like those yellow seats, admittedly, but I'm going to go for yellow, because the yellow looks kind of cool. I know the MX-5 was a bright colour too, but still. Anyways, Underground 1 had autosave. Did it? I don't remember it having... Oh yeah, it did. It was awkward though. Anyways, we are actually going to do some upgrades to our MX-5 before it... MR2 before it hits the streets. We are going to stick the NA Tune Stage up 2, whatever, on it. We'll stick racing air filter on it. Autosave wasn't very common in 2001. Indeed it was not. FTO is not rear wheel drive, FTO is front wheel drive. So let's buy that, and we will also put some tyres on this, because, no, not those tyres. We'll put those on it as well, because there we go. And I'm actually going to put suspension on this as well, because the last car didn't have very good suspension, so sure, we'll have that as well. Alright, there we go, that's the MR2. Fully built up. I'm late, but either way, you're here now, so that's a good thing. Anyways, as I said, mid-engine rear drive challenge, as you'd probably expect, it's restricted to only MR cars only, and we're going to be heading to the Trial Mountain Deep Forest Raceway Reverse and the Apricot Hill Speedway. Let's head into the Trial Mountain circuit first. Okay, well, the race is pretty self-explanatory. We have MR2s, a VX220, and a Speedster, and that's about it. So, yeah, as you can tell, the variety is... there's a lot of variety in this game when it comes to mid-engine rear-drive cars. Alright, here we go. Now, while I did say there wasn't a particular amount of variety in this race, there are at least a few different types of MR2. There's an SW20. That's about it. Although we should, in theory, be the most powerful car on this thing. It's an MRS, mate. Not in the UK it is. It's the MR2 in the UK. And that's why I'm going to call it the MR2. Also, in Japan it was the MR2. In Europe it was the MR2. In America it was the MRS. So, there you go. Turn off the aids. I've turned off all of the aids, don't worry. Oh, okay, we have interestings. I mean, 233 horsepower in an MR2 should usually end in disaster, so let's actually see how well we do here. It's not going too badly, as of right now. Seems alright. Oh god. It's better than that A86 was, I can assure you that. Also, the speed, turn off your keyboard. Nice. Is GT5 worth it now? I have thought about it a few times, but unsure. It's the only main GT series game I don't have. I'm American, don't hate me. It's alright, buddy. Don't worry about it. GT5 was probably my least favourite of the Gran Turismo games. Well, along with probably GT1 as well. That's mostly because I didn't play GT1 until later. GT5's alright. It's a solid game. GT6 is better though. But, you know, if you've never played it, it's only like a couple of quid now, so GT5 certainly at this point, if you can get it like for a couple of quid, sure. You know, GT5 isn't terrible. I personally won't be LPing it or anything because, yeah, I might do GT5 Prologue at some point because that game's actually kind of fun. GT4 is the best in the series. I would be inclined to agree with you, although I also have a huge soft spot for Gran Turismo 2, just because that's what I grew up on, and I adore that game. I adore its car list. It still has, at least in my opinion to this day, one of the better car lists in any racing game, just because it's just got some cars which are so out there, like the Series 2 Lotus Elan. That's in literally no other game, apart from GT2, and that's why I kind of like it, so, yeah. Although it is a bit of a shame the fact they didn't include the Ford Escort in that game, which was a car they was planning to do. Also, with the stream shopping viewers, which is making me think maybe I might do one more championship after this one. We'll see. GT2 is a close second for me. Yeah, GT2 was fantastic. I love GT3 and GT4. GT2 is good. GT1 I can't get into. GT6 is hit and miss. GT6 was fine. Again, it was another good game. The problem with Gran Turismo these days, and don't hate me for this, but it, compared to Forza, it just hasn't really done anything in the past 10 years. Like, the problem with Gran Turismo is they've sort of let the competition get away from them just by developing games for way too long. And then when they come out, they're a bit outdated because they've been developed for so long, so... Yeah, Gran Turismo kind of falls down that hole a little bit, which is, I grew up with GT2 and 24 Hours of Le Mans on PS1. For me, it was GT2, Demolition Racer, the original Toka touring cars, Destruction Derby Raw was excellent. There were some great games on the PlayStation 1, which are all on my Let's Play list, so anyways, we win, unsurprisingly. And we get 2,000 credits for all of that, so that's fun. As we exit out of here, and on to the next race. Next race heads to the Deep Forest Raceway Reverse. Alright, this time in the grid, well, we've got even less variety now as one of the speedsters drops out in favour for a VX220. Underground was my only real game for a long time. Cars the video game. God, I remember having that on Game Boy Advance. It was fuck awful. Destruction Derby. Yeah, I really liked Raw. Raw was really good. Like, the other two were good games, but I've got to get my PS1. Oh, I've got to buy that PS3 Elgato cable, even though the shipping costs like £20 for like a £6 cable. I am going to be buying that cable. Do not worry, we will get back on track to doing old PlayStation 1 games at some point. I just need to buy the cable from the PlayStation 3 and then Emile. We have liftoff or something. As we head into the trees. Also, I kind of like how the reverse course is at a different time of day to the other course. It's interesting, certainly. Let's get some of that third-person MR2 action. Of course, this was back when Gran Turismo... he says as he's about to spin the car. This is back when, before Gran Turismo lost the plot with the third-person camera. Because in GT4, they changed the third-person camera to where it was basically completely fixed on the rear end of the car, and it made me honestly feel very, very ill. To actually use the third-person camera in GT4 and onwards, believe it or not, so GT3 is a little bit more bearable in that regard, although admittedly it still feels weird driving third-person in this game now, so I'll stick to first-person. GBA, all of the Kirby games, yes, I played it on GameCube, Ethan Bradbury. And an LP for cars, I mean, depends what platform you're going to play it on. Good luck, I mean, I would assume you could probably record off a Wii. It would be a bitch too, though. Also, I'm kind of glad there's no straight line speed courses here because once I get a mic, I'll do it justice. A mic that will do it justice. Hey, blue snowballs, Christmas coming up. Just ask your parents for a blue snowball. That's what I'd do. I didn't know they did that with third person. I adjusted to it somehow. Yeah, it was, to be fair, most people didn't really notice it. It's just for me, personally. I don't really have motion sickness, per se. But Gran Turismo, sort of, when it was doing that camera angles, was the only real... game that actually made me physically feel a little bit ill using the third-person cameras. Nah, motherfucking Wii. Hey, let's go. I think Mario was on the Wii. It's the only games I actually played on Nintendo's. Flick the controller to jump and stuff. I mean, it'd be better than the Game Boy Advance game. That was basically an isotrope view, I believe? Or isotropic or something. God, understeer. Good God. It's like a lot of Wii racing games. New NW700. Hey. Also, across the line for the ZZW30, which has been... Okay, this car's OP. I'll admit it. For the purposes of this racing, yes, this car's OP. I still couldn't care less, like, but there you go. Anyways, let's exit out there and head on to the final race of today. Anyways, final race of today heads to the Apricot Hill Raceway. Anyways, final race misses out on all of the variety once again, as we have VX220. Auto Modelista. I need to play that. GT4 Pro Series was fun. GT4 Pro Series, yes, clearly. Anyways. Also, does the SW20 come in purple? Okay, we're using that car later, purely because it comes in purple. It also comes in Tanning Girl orange, but we'll ignore that. Auto Modelista. I need to play Auto Modelista at some point. It looks like a fun game. Or at least graphically it does anyway. I'm not sure what the actual game's like. I'm going to probably buy a bunch of old PS2 games at some point. My current plans for PS2 games that I actually want to buy include Auto Modelista. I want to buy Infusia at some point as well. A few other bits. Again, Xbox-wise, I'm going to go ahead and buy 2K17 and Dirt Rally at some point as well. I'm probably going to buy that because Dirt Rally is fun. One will be departing after this championship. Don't have too much fun without me. To be fair, this stream might end after this championship. I need to sort of... Maybe I might do one more, but we'll have to see. Modelista is better, but that doesn't make GT Pro Series any worse. Yeah, I mean, comparing one thing to another, I mean, it's like comparing GT6 to Forza. I mean, either way, both games are good, so there's loads of PS2 games I want to buy. Yeah, Infusia is one of my biggest ones at the moment, because basically I watched Fail Race play it, and in the first sequence I saw the fact that your first car could be a Toyota Yaris Verso, and I went, yes, alright, I need to buy this game now, because I really want to use a Toyota Yaris Verso. To be fair, I've never even heard of GT Pro Series. I know it's a Wii exclusive. That's about it. I haven't seen anything from it. What's your opinion of the WRC series of games? Honestly, haven't played any of them. They look fun. I've never played any of them though. Modern Rallying, I ended up watching some of it the other day. It's nowhere near as good as it used to be, as he spins his car. Just actually try and get this going. There we go. Come on, give me a love tap, voxels. Although you'll probably fault a bit. A neat spin-off of GT Advance series. GT Advance, I have heard of that. They weren't Game Boy games, were they? I'm not sure. I just want to get all my PS2 and PS1 games back. If you like the Wii, it'd be okay. Yeah, I hate the Wii, so... Mostly just because fucking glorified fucking fitness machine. Basically made for 10-year-old kids and grandparents, but you know, whatever, each to their own, I guess. I'd certainly never own one though. Toyo Tire. Tire spelled, I'm not sure, away. Oh, they were Game Boy Advance. Hey, I don't know, I think I was thinking of buying those at some ILP'd all three of them. Hey, Emile, I'll have to check that out just to see what they're like. I'm curious. You'll be pleased to know, Rhino, I pointed at everyone who watched the license tests. I pointed them in the direction of your channel because I was like, hey, I'm not doing these gold because I'm not good enough, but if you want to see someone who's actually good enough, go watch Rhino do it. Yeah. 10-year-old kid when the Wii came out. Do you mean the Wii U, by the way? Anyways, glorified fitness machine is accurate. Anyways, another £2,000 goes into my account, although admittedly it isn't really doing much. And we find out what our prize car is for this event. I'm betting it's something mid-engined rear drive. It's an SW, it's a ZZW30, isn't it? Yes, it is. Lovely. Okay, same car that we was using before. Anyways. So that's it for this episode anyways. There's not really much point in checking out the car which we just won, because it's the same car we've just got, except it's blue with red seats, so that's something. By terrible quality. No, the GT3 license videos don't have music in them, or the licenses don't have music in them, so at least that's something you're safe from. Anyways friends, that's it for this episode of the Gran Turismo 3 Let's Play thing. Yeah, that. I hope you've enjoyed. Join me for the next episode when we'll be taking a look at the 4-wheel drive challenge. Until next time, friends, farewell.